Was there ever a moment where you guys, during the 17 years you guys were in, was there ever a moment during the 17 years you guys were in, was there ever a moment where you guys were so deep that you had intel where we were this close to possibility of a World War something really nasty? Was it ever a point where it was so close that if this thing happens and this triggers this, we could be in a World War III overnight? Was there ever a moment like that in your 17 years?
There were a couple scenarios under the Trump administration. Right before I retired, we were spinning up to do a couple things that if they would have went, potentially. And I'll be honest, Trump canked us when we were on the ramp getting ready to go. He solved it. However he does, whatever he does, he called and literally stopped us on the ramp.
You vividly remember that?
Mm-hmm. I mean, we spun up to go. We were going to go do the thing and got in midair and got ready to do the whole process, and we got canceled and spun around and came back home.
Okay, so this has got to be 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019. This is that time.
Yeah.
And if this were to happen?
I mean, potentially, could have been an active engagement with a bunch of Russians. Could have been dicey. You just never know.
So you're on the ramp, you're ready to go, everybody's, strapped, you boom, get the phone call. Nope, it's quarter, we're not going on it.
Mm-hmm. Huge letdown.
You wanted it.
Oh, I mean, everybody wants it. Everybody wants to go. And you start to think about the ramifications, like what if this goes south?
This is absolutely gold. This is Pro-Trump PBD podcast, talking to a bunch of pro-Trump Navy SEALs. And they said, in 17 years, so that includes Donald Trump, that includes Obama, the only times that he thought we were about to go to World War III was both under Trump. Notice he didn't say once. He said a couple of times. The Trump administration. I don't know if you guys understand the gravity of what is being exposed here. These are the people who have this, we're against war and Trump is all about peace. That's their tribe. And he's saying in 17 years, Trump was the guy who got us close to World War III multiple times. And that was in his first term when he was very much constrained. What will happen in the second term without those constraints? And why do you think he turned them around? Probably those people, the guardrails that were there, right? Some people that had some kind of competence and some kind of sanity told him this is bad, we shouldn't do this. And they once again convinced him to turn around and stop what he was doing. And I actually think I remember this incident that they're referring to. I'm going to check it right now, but if I'm not mistaken, Trump, and the thing about it, a lot of people who like Trump and people who are talking about, they're all about peace and Trump is the peace president. Most of them don't even know that, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, we almost went to war with Iran. And I think they had launched, I remember the story, they had launched and the bombs were in the air. And then Trump turned it around and then he got credit. He got credit for stopping his own chaos. Right? That's like what he's doing right now, destroying the economy. And then they're going to give him credit. Oh, order the deal. Right? For reversing the mess that he started. He was the one, we're badass, we're America, we're gonna go bomb whatever. And then when people are like, listen, this is crazy, and he's like, okay, let's come back. Oh, Trump is a great guy. 17 years. But Trump was the guy. These are pro-Trump people telling you this. Yep, there it is. It was Iran, exactly as I remembered it. It's behind a paywall. But once again, the peace president, per MAGA, right? And not just any MAGA. This guy's a Navy SEAL. He was on the inside, right? He knows things that we don't know. He knows things that's not in the news, right? A guy who would know and who's on Trump's side is contradicting this Trump is the peace president narrative. And instead, he is pointing out the guy who he actively still supports is the guy who multiple times almost pushed us to World War III. Think about the cognitive dissonance. Think about yet again another example of how this is a cult. It's a cult. When you have a Navy SEAL who loves Trump, talking about Trump was the one guy in 17 years that 2 times took us to the brink of World War III. You got all these people, this supposed left-wingers, right, the real left, talking about peace and all these neocons and warmongers. Oh, Joe Biden's a warmonger. Trump is about peace. That's not what the Navy SEALs is saying. Who should I believe? The Navy SEALs? Or should I believe clown partisan propagandists online? Now keep in mind, I did another video talking about these same Navy SEALs. And they were talking about things that were a bit out of their scope, as far as I know. Right? Talking about geopolitical stuff, and then they were talking about military tech as far as communications and encryption and all that kind of stuff. And as far as I know, that's not their specialty. Right? They didn't really have much value. I know a lot of people have this, in this country especially, this cartoonish view of reality. It's kind of like, oh, he's a Navy SEAL. He knows everything about anything military related. No, he know about what he needed to know. Right? He was trained to do certain things. He might have been a weapons expert. Might have been demolition. There's a lot of different things. Communications guy. A lot of different things. Right? We don't know what kind of missions he went on. For all we know, he could have been like a linguist or just so many different things, right? However, talking about this has more relevance because this is not something outside of his realm. He was literally in this mission, gonna go on the mission. He was an operator for that mission, right? Now, commenting on why Trump changed his mind, now you're getting outside of the scope. But commenting on that there was a mission and it was canceled and that it could have led to World War III. And I think the World War III part is if he's going to go and attack some country, there would have had to have been a briefing detailing, what the threats are, what their capabilities are. So from that information, he could gather this could really go south. This could be bad. Right? Anyway, there you have it. Donald Trump looks like he's not really the peacetime president, which is very scary because now we have Donald Trump unleashed. Now there's no one to stop him. There's no one to turn him around. So now he's bombing apartment buildings with people's girlfriends and a bunch of clowns on some Signal app with emojis and now just ridiculous excuses talking about numbers got sucked up into their phone. Complete clown show. So we got a clown show. We don't have much of any guardrails. And we have a lunatic president. You think he was a lunatic before? He's not getting better with time. Right? He's not a bottle of wine. He might be a can of Bud Light. If you know what I'm saying. Anyway, this is the Baby Channel. The Baby in the comment section below. Click on the like button, subscribe, smash that bell. Be well. Maybe some Bud Light with some lime in it, if that makes more sense. I'm not a big drinker.